Hi, welcome to another Empower tutorial. Today we want to look at how to create and edit standards and change your curriculum in Empower 2.0. Here I am on my front page, and always to find my tools, I will go to the Empower word in the upper left corner and click that to get to my menu of tools. Now, to find the tool that we're going to use today to have the rights to change curriculum, you need to have admin rights. That means that most teachers and other users, students, and parents aren't going to see these tools, aren't going to have access to them, aren't going to have the ability to change standards. But as an admin, here on my tools page, I want to go down to the eAdmin section, and if I mouse over that, I'm going to get a View More button there. Clicking that, I'll see the full suite of eAdmin tools, and the one we're going to work in today is the Standards Editor. Now what we're seeing here is the latest version of this tool. If you click on the Standards Editor and see something else, contact your Empower representative and ask for the latest upgrade, as this new tool we think is a big improvement on the old one. This is reminiscent of the Target browser, so it should be familiar to you. Here, if I want to create a new content area, I can click the plus button, and I would fill out the form, and that's pretty straightforward. We won't go too in depth with that. I do just want you to notice here the box that says active for selected sites. You want to be sure to click the sites that you want these standards to be seen at. So you could have certain content areas that are only visible to staff and students who are associated with certain school sites. But if you leave it blank, obviously no one is going to see these. So be sure to click something. If I want to edit an existing content area, I can select that here in the drop-down menu. Again, we get a layout just like the Target browser, including the ability to filter different developmental levels. And as always, I can also click on the little eye icon and get to see my scoring guide. So as we work and edit inside of these and change scoring guides and details, we're going to be able to see what those are going to look like to the end user. And let's look at these two buttons here. We're going to see these on all of the different elements in the Standards Editor. The plus sign, as we've seen before, is how we can create something new. So I can use this plus sign to create a new content area. I can use one of these plus signs to create a new target within that category. And if I want to create a new category, I'll find the plus button all the way down at the bottom. The other button here is this editor button, and by clicking that, I can edit an existing content area, category, or learning target. If I click to edit one of these targets, we come to the standards form here, and the red asterisks are going to be required fields. Starting up here with the standard name, this nomenclature is going to be automatically assigned by Empower. We can set the developmental level, and what this does is it changes those colors and the ability to filter based on these. And your district may have different developmental levels. Yours may say 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12. You may have separated your developmental levels differently, and that's just fine. Start date and end date. Make sure that the dates you want to be using this standard are within that range, and it should automatically set to that effect. Moving down, we find the standards description. And this is going to be that piece that teachers see when they're browsing the Target browser when they mouse over. As well as within the Learning Target file cabinet, this will be on that front details page. From here, as an admin, I can easily make any edits I want to. I can add or delete text. Now down here we find the rubrics. When you're first creating a standard, you may find nothing but this Add Rubric Definition button. And by clicking that, we can add another field to include more rubric definitions for different scores. There I can select the score that I want to define. I can select the taxonomy to go along with it. I can type in my description here. And there's also a column here, the learner is able to, which is a place to put maybe different examples of what a student should be able to do. Ideas for how to instruct this particular piece of knowledge maybe. Now off to the side of that, I find a trash can button if I want it to delete this entire rubric definition. I also might find it out of place, and by clicking these arrows, I can move it either up or down. The last thing we're going to see on this form is manage list trackers, and we're going to cover that in a different video, but it's pretty simple, and this is a place where admins can include some of the more granular pieces of knowledge that we want to track. They might be high frequency words, lists of spelling words, or any different skills that we might want to create a list of, and teachers will be able to just check those off and keep track of, a student has done 8 out of 11 of these, but we'll dig into that in a future video. Then all we need to do is hit save, and it will return us here to this main page. Now I said I wanted to show you a way to rearrange the standards. And we made it really simple here in this new version of the standards editor. It's actually just drag and drop. So I can grab any one of these tiles and I can simply drag it down into the area where I want it to be and drop it off. Now what we'll find is that this tile has actually adopted the color I dropped it into. So I could drag it and move it to a different developmental level within the same row. If I want to move it into a new row without it changing its color, all I need to do is drag it onto the plus sign and it'll drop there and retain its original color. That's about it for the standards editor. Remember that you do need to have admin access to get to this tool. And if you need to know how to grant someone admin access, we've covered that information in the tutorial videos about managing staff and teacher profiles. We hope this was helpful to you. We'll see you in the next video.